Hello everyone, how are we doing today? Hello. So today we'll be speaking with Tolu Akinyemi, award-winning author. Hello Tolu, hello. Let me add you now. Okay.
And lifting up writers to become better at what they do. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Man, this country. I've been trying to connect and everything and the network just messed up. So I think it has to do with the government. I mean, like they can't just provide good network services. Nothing is good in this country, like except certain things. But most things right now is some things are costly. The government is not paying us too much attention. The country has been hard for us, try for writers to. So we're just managing all the way. So how is over there?
Yeah, it's okay. It's Black History Month, and if you've been watching what's been happening in the UK as well, earlier this month there was fuel scarcity. So we've had shortage of AGV, high goods vehicle drivers, AGV drivers. There has been scarcity kind of, and so the UK too is, we've been facing our own challenges here in the UK as well. So, but Black History Month, a lot of talk is going on right now. Discussions around inclusion, diversity, and I think basically when it's Black History Month, that's the time all these kind of discussions come up on how things can, people can, help, Black people, Black voices, diversity in the workplace, how, we can uplift Black talent as well. So that's the month.
Okay, thank you so much for coming here. We are really happy. And I think you wrote a book about Black Lives Matter, Black history. Can you please us on with that? I think it's Inferno of Science.
Yes, so my collection of short stories, Inferno of Silence, it's a collection of short stories, 7 short stories, and Black Lives Matter. It's been on my mind to like put out a work out there that would, talk about the struggles of Black people, about the challenges that they face, and the protagonist in that story, Ike Mefuna. He was a footballer that was playing, playing his trade in Shoot for the Stars Football Club in Ibadan, southwestern Nigeria, and they came to Europe for greener pastures. So the story depicts all the challenges he faced while after I left Nigeria and they came to Europe to to pursue his career and raises him on the football pitch. Yeah, so the story was written with a focus to like, talk about the struggles Black people face, and not just now on the football pitch, but even in the workplace, and how so because the trauma is always there for Black people, irrespective of what you do. The fact that you're Black, you have that challenge on account of your skin color. Yeah, so that story was just to put out a message that truly Black lives matter.
Okay. Yes, I've heard so much about racism over there in foreign countries, the black man, the intimidation. I guess that's a really touching story right there. And I'm so happy that you touched on that. I'm so happy that black people out there can actually relate to your story. They can learn so much from that story, the struggle of the black man, the struggles he goes through. Thank you so much for that story. And the title of the book, Inferno of Silence. Can you please give us a brief overview of what that's about?
Yeah, so basically, like I said, it's a collection of 7 short stories. The main title story, Inferno of Silence. So that talks about the challenges men face in relationships. So mainly we hear about women in relationships who face like domestic violence, abuse in relationships. So that this particular story, Inferno of Silence, talks about the challenges that men face, which society do not really talk about. Most times, as a man, you are told to man up, be quiet. You know, men are not configured to talk about their issues because masculinity entails that, oh, you have to prove to people that you're a man, and so a lot of men face like struggles and challenges. So the essence of that story is to put it out there as well that truly men also have their own issues. They face challenges as well. And the protagonist in that story, Kunle and his fiancée initially, who became the wife when they were dating, he saw no signs. Although he saw a little signs, but it felt like, oh, this there's no big deal, it doesn't really mean much. But then in the marriage, he had to like he had the choice whether to endure the inferno of silence or so I wouldn't I wouldn't give it all out, but to hear more about this, then I would encourage people to like check out the book. But it talks about a lot of issues, challenges that men face in relationships. Then there's another story titled "In the Trap of Seers." So in the Trap of Seers is about a girl child who is facing a lot of challenges, out there, and the mom keeps taking her to different spiritual homes to help her, to find solution to her spiritual problems. So the story explores issues that girls face, and how through all of these storms she was able to overcome the challenges here. So another story in that collection is titled "Everybody Don't Kulu Mental." So in "Everybody Don't Kulu Mental," this explores issues around mental health issues that we face all of the time, even to issues around social media, the pressure that young people face. We have people who are suicidal, people who, just crave for, oh, do people like my posts? The people, just issues around that. People are looking for people to like them, and or the people don't feel, people want validation from society. So I think this is putting a lot of pressure on young people. Social media these days as well. So everybody don't follow mental assesses issues around mental health challenges that young people face, and and how we can overcome them. So these are all like relatable stories that addresses human experiences and challenges that people face. I also have another story titled "Return Journey." And "Return Journey" explores issues around interreligious marriages. So we see this kind of issues even in different cultures. So if I'm a Christian, for instance, I want to marry, say, a Muslim girl, my parents, or maybe African parents or Nigerian parents might come and say, "Oh no, you cannot marry a Muslim." So that story explores issues around, interreligious marriages, explores issues around, young people aspirations, and yeah. So then another story as well is titled "Trouble in Umudike." So "Trouble in Umudike" like explores issues around. So the son, the Mazi Okafor, who was the father of the protagonist, who happens to be Chinedu, his son. So eventually, he lost his wife. Then Chinedu slept with the wife, with the new wife that the father married. So it explores issues around family troubles and how we can overcome some of these issues. And the last story in the collection is titled "Blinded by Silence." So "Blinded by Silence" is just the normal Nigeria that we see today, where nepotism, ethnicity, tribalism, and these are pertinent issues that we face in today's Nigeria, where a particular region, they are a particular region, they are kidnapping students. People don't want to speak out. They are still okay. They are still supporting their kin and kindred, irrespective of the challenges the nation is facing. So this collection of short stories explores all the challenges, human experiences, like I talked about racism, mental health issues, family issues, and even societal issues that we face.
Okay, thank you so much for brushing through all the stories in Inferno Islands. I'll be asking about your personal takes on each story. Is this something personal to you? Is this something that has happened to you? Do you write the story as a result of something you have experienced, or it's just something out of the blue?
Yeah, so I think for every writer, we pick from human experiences, and also there are possibilities that a few things, even in Black Lives Matter, even though it was around like a footballer, but also there are a few experiences that actually mine as well, or that I've seen people experience. So it's just picking here and there what people experience around me, a few of my own personal experiences as well. Then I, put everything together to make up the whole collection. So, but basically, most of my writing is just all about the human experiences, not just my own experiences, but issues around what people around me experience, and what it could just be from a conversation with someone, or what I've heard, things that are trending and all of that. Yeah, so that's that's the focal of my writing.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks so much for writing really interesting books like that, inspirational, educative. I guess everybody out there who has to read these books because you get to learn so much from it. You get to, like, even the foreign people are going to respect Black people more through the eyes of a Black man. Thank you so much for writing the stories. I would love to have your personal opinions on every story you have written so far. So, how do you feel about the issue of men being so be demanding to be stronger or to nation? So, how do you feel about
Sorry, you were kind of breaking. You were breaking.
Okay, I mean, I'm trying to say, how do you feel your personal opinion on men? They're emotional being, aren't they allowed to cry? What's your personal opinion on that?
Yeah, so personally, I think, like I tell my son also, I tell my son also that boys are allowed to, like, as a boy, boys cry. It's okay for boys to cry, and I also feel like men, we also have our own issues, we have our challenges, and we experience issues as well. So it's all about, like, just being a man. It's not just about, oh, I am the man. It's all about, in a relationship, it takes two to tango. It takes like two people to make a relationship work. So men face a lot of baggages, and I would say, um as a man, if you're like in a relationship and you're having challenges, or you have issues, with your partner and everything, I think it's all right to speak out. And if it's not working as well, if you're in a relationship that is not working, it's not a do or die affair. In our culture, most times people would say, oh, it's for better, for worse, till death do us part. If it's not working, like if the relationship is not working, then it's come to a time like you just have to walk away, because that's what leads to issues around people killing each other in relationships. When if it's not meant to work, then it's not meant to work. So my advice would be, rather than die like in the inferno of silence, speak out. Let out the baggage. There is a lot of toxic relationships, and people just will try to, like, just stay in there. Oh, it's going to get better. It's going to be better. But if it's not working, my advice would be like, just let it go. Don't die in the inferno of silence. And if you have to speak out, look for a confidant, have a mentor that you believe. The issue, like, people don't really like to talk about what they are facing as well, because if you tell someone about your issues, that other person, by be telling everybody, oh, this is what this person is facing in their relationship and everything. So people are really wary about like speaking out. But I would encourage men out there that rather than like if you are in a in a violent relationship, abusive relationship, a toxic relationship, and you know it's not working, look for a mentor that you can talk to, speak out, and do not die in the inferno of silence. So that's my take on that story. Then on Black Lives Matter, like I always say, I also have another collection of poems, Black Does Not Equal Inferior. And I always say that these black voices cannot be silenced. And the fact that we are black does not mean black is not a synonym for an inferior. So we are not inferior. And you know, the like in the UK, a lot of issues around white privilege, but I I even like in the workplace as well, like common issues in the UK, we don't have like black corporate. We don't have, like I wrote a recent article about. I say Black History Month, not enough black corporate leaders. So we don't have like role models within the black community like that we can look up to, we can aspire to. So if I have a dream to be a managing director tomorrow, I don't really have a lot of people that I can say, oh, this person is already like a is an MD. You get that I want to become an MD. I want to emulate. So we have shortage of leadership, like within the corporate space, not just in the UK, around the world. Black leadership, people that are like are exemplary that we can look up to. So those are some of the issues that we face. Then you look at in the workplace as well. You could have like a team of 10 white people who are leading teams and there's no black person there, you understand? So that's what we call white privilege. But if you look at even these black people that are like not even in leadership positions, you have some black people with like 2 master's degree, competent people. So I think Black Lives Matter is just to keep on resonating the forgotten truth. If people have forgotten that black lives truly matter and our voices as black people cannot be silenced. And in everybody don't follow mental. So the message in that story is that everybody faces their own struggles, their own issues. Don't look for validation from anyone. Be happy with who you are. Don't live your life for social media. Live your life. Like a lot of people just want to everything they do, they put it like online, they live for social media. So try and live outside of social media as well. Breathe, live. So everybody don't follow mental health. Don't let your life be determined by what's happening on the gram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Just live your life, breathe, and know that it's okay to struggle. Everybody has their own challenges. Everybody has personal issues that they deal with. So, but breathe. That's that. And I think I've talked about Inferno of Silence. Then in the trap of seers. So that explores, like I said, issues around the girl child, and the girl child in that particular story. She actually attained greatness, even though the father initially disowned her because she was a girl, and the wife did not bear him a son. So he wanted a son, and they said, "Oh, you are a bastard because you are not a girl." So because I'm not a boy, so stigmatizing girls or stigmatizing the girl child, and it's okay for us to like uphold and support girl children because they can also be whatever. We have people like Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is the DG of the World Trade Organization. These are role models, women who are doing phenomenal things in society. We have people like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who is a leading light in African and global literary scene. So when we talk about, it's limitless what the girl child, can achieve. So those are just a few learnings from some of the stories.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. These stories are really inspiring. They can teach so many people out there. I really appreciate moral lessons behind all the stories you have written. So thank you so, so much for all this. And about mental health, back again, I believe so many people are not really aware of mental health in the world, and they really need to come off social media and experience world outside social media. Thank you so much for that story. Also, the girl child deserves all the best things in life. The girl child is capable of doing everything. The girl child is capable of reaching heights. Thank you so much for that also. Thank you. So I would like to know if you have other books that you have written so far. You
Uh,
can
I have I have a ton of books. Yeah, so my first book was a collection of poems that came out in 2017, The Lionstone Row. After that, that's a collection of poetic wisdom for the discerning. After that, in 2018, Unravel Your Hidden Gems, a collection of inspirational and motivational essays. So that's a life Bible from relationships to career, everything. It covers all of that. Then in 2018, Dead Dogs Don't Bark and They Don't Bite, a collection of poems and sequel to Dead Lion Stone Row. Then in 2019, Dead Cats Don't Meow, Don't Waste the Nightlife, and Never Play Games to the Devil. Those are two collection of poems. Then in 2020, A Booktiful Love, that's my award-winning collection of poems, and Inferno of Silence, award-winning collection of short stories that we talked about. Then in 2021, Never Marry a Writer. That's a collection of poems as well. And Black Does Not Equal Inferior. Those came out in January. Then another collection of poems, Everybody Don't Kolo Mental. That came out in 2021 as well. It's a collection of poems that deal with mental health issues that people face, therapy and all of the everyday challenges that we face. Then in 2021 again, two children's literature, I wear self-confidence like a second skin, and I am not a troublemaker. Those are two children's picture book to boost the self-confidence and self-esteem of young people. Then in September, Born in Lockdown, a collection of coronavirus poems came out in September. Then I have three titles forthcoming, which is A God in a Human Body. That will be out on the 1st of January 2022. In August 2022, I have City of Lost Memories, a collection of poems. And in January 2023, I have You Need More Than Dreams. That's a collection of young people's poetry as well. That will be out in January 2023. So far, 13 published titles and three forthcoming titles.
Wow. Wow. I've heard so much about you, and it's really a pleasure having you with us right now and even speaking with you. All your awards, all your accomplishments is something I'm also looking up to you. I'm following you as your boxer. I'm with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this lovely session. And also, I'd like to ask where we can get all your stories.
Yeah, so all my books you can get them from in Nigeria, Ruven Heights. All my books are available at Ruven Heights bookstores, on Amazon marketplaces globally, Barnes and Noble globally as well, on my website tolutoludo.com. You can also get it on the Roaring, that's my publishing imprint, the Roaring Lion Newcastle.com. So I also have a publishing press right in Newcastle upon time here. So we mainly will publish African and Nigerian authors here. So all the books are available, Waterstones, localbookshop.org, just local presses. Yeah, the books are available mostly everywhere where books are sold. But in Nigeria, the Roving Nights bookstores, all my books are available at Roving Nights.
Thank you so much for this session. I really appreciate it. And have really enjoyed this conversation with you from your groups to others. Thank you so much for sharing more Black Lives Matter. Thank you so much for shedding more light on the rights of women. Thank you for shedding more light on emotional life of a man. I really appreciate that because I think attention has not really been paid to that aspect of
Yeah.
life. Men have just been like, oh, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to express your emotions, Thank you so much about that. Thank you very much about that. So, um, this we have reached the end of our live session. Thank you everyone for joining us, for watching our live video, and so if you have anything to say to our audience, please feel free.
Yeah, let's roar together. Let's roar like a lion.
Oh my God.
Can I have a loud roar like a lion? Roar that. Roar.
Ah, thank you so
You are talking to the Lion of Newcastle, so you have to roar. Can I have a loud roar like a lion? Roar.
Wow. Thank you so much.
That's a babe roar.
Oh,
Yeah, really nice talking to you. So, just in closing, if anyone is like interested in having a book published, check out the roaring lion newcastle.com. To see like whenever our submission window is open, just check us out on the roaring lion newcastle.com. And if you have like a manuscript that you want us to review, send us a manuscript and we'll be happy to review and see if your work, meets our publication criteria and standard. That will definitely reach out to you. And for more information about me as well, check me out on toludo.com and toluakinyemi.com as well. And thank you so much for having me tonight. It's been a pleasure talking to you and roaring together. And keep up the great work with Prolific Writers Academy. Keep on raising prolific writers, Keep
thank
up
you
the good
so
work.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks so much. And everyone have a good night wherever you are. Have a good night too.
Yeah,
Oh, what?
bye.
What's time over there?
Same time. Half seven,
Oh,
7:30. Yeah, same
okay.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.